Ravenmark is a tactical strategy game where movement, formations, and standing orders play a tremendous role. Let's take a look at those now. Now, the damage bar is, of course, represented by this circle. It doesn't matter the color. Once you take damage, this circle starts to diminish. Let's take a look over here where our militia attacked, and we can already see the Cardani Braves here have lost about 1/4 of their actual health. Once they lose all of that, this unit is destroyed. Now we come to formations. Formations are very important in Ravenmark, and you can have a grand total of 3 units in one formation of the same type. Now obviously you can't form units that are of different types together. For instance, I can't take this archery unit and merge them with this mustard militia unit. It just isn't going to work. What I can do, however, is take 3 mustard militia units and put them together. Now this is going to increase damage as well as decrease damage done to the unit itself because of the fact that we have more men, but it's also going to reduce our movement. It's going to reduce our ability to actually form up, or I should say wheel around properly, and so it's not going to give you as much movement, as much individual movement for each unit as it were. Let's go ahead and find out how to actually get rid of a formation. Let's say we don't like these 3 guys together and we want to go ahead and make individual attacks. We'll go to our formation list, and over here we have minus buttons. We can go ahead, click the minus button, and now we go ahead, click this other minus button, and we press OK to remove these units from the formation. Now you can see these are each individual units. Now if we decide we want to remake that formation, we simply click the unit, we click the formation button, we click the plus button, we click the next plus button, we click OK, and there's our formation ready to go again. We're going to have to, of course, choose a location for which to face. We'll choose southeast, and there we go, we're back in formation. Now, Ravenmark has 6 command points. That is to say, once you make 6 commands, you no longer can make any more until the start of the next turn. So we're going to go ahead and very quickly here, we're going to start moving 6 units forward. I'm not moving them in any particular formation. In fact, this is probably not the greatest way to approach this battle, but I just want to show you guys how this works. So right now, we've done 4, and of course we have 4 taken up. Let's get up to a grand total of 6. We're going to go ahead and move forward. And we'll take some of our archers and we'll also move forward. While we're at that, we'll also take these guys and change the formation just to show you guys, or excuse me, change the standing orders just to show you guys that the standing orders aren't going to take up one of these command points. So let's go ahead and just click stand ground, and we will end our turn and hopefully see what the enemy has in store for us. Now we get into the battle phase, and this is where the turns that you've taken in the previous turn are going to take effect. The only time that the units will not carry out a particular order is if an enemy unit gets in their way, or if an enemy unit is destroyed, or some other extenuating circumstances. Otherwise, your units should follow your orders fairly well. As you can see, that unit stood their ground, and of course, we did not lose any command points in our initial phase. Now, as you can see here, our unit has already started attacking this unit. Since we basically moved our units forward, it engaged the enemy unit. And of course, you can tell that since we have these 3 units merged, they do seem to be doing quite a lot of damage to the defending unit here. Now, how do we initiate an attack in Ravenmark? Well, it's quite simple. As you can see, we've actually selected this unit, and we moved to this position right here, which is the most anticipated position that the enemy is going to be at. As you've noticed in Ravenmark, you can't directly click on an enemy unit to attack. It just doesn't work that way. But what you can do is click on the area next to the unit, where you anticipate them to be, and during the actual process of the combat or command phase, you will see whether or not your movement actually worked, whether or not the enemy is standing their ground or whether they're pulling back. Any number of things could affect the outcome of the combat situation. Let's go ahead and let this one play out so that we can see what happens. Of course, these units are not as important right now, but there go our horsemen, and we're actually hitting the enemy on a flank, so it's actually pretty cool that they could brace, but one of the reasons they were able to brace is because of the fact that they're a spearman unit, and we are merely a horseman unit, a cavalry unit, so of course, they're going to be able to defend fairly well against us. Over here, we've been flanked, but we're still waiting for our men here to move forward, and they will soon do that. Of course, some of our archers have moved forward. And here we go. Some of the enemy has moved forward, and this may stop our forward movement with our actual earthbound swordsmen. It all depends. In this case, we moved diagonally, so we were able to actually attack. We also locked shields with the enemy, which is pretty awesome. Although now we find ourselves in a pretty tough position, and this will bring us to our next series of videos, which touches upon flanking and battle tactics. But clearly, this unit right here being flanked by these two units is not a good thing. Now, one particularly important thing in Ravenmark is going to be the standing orders option. Let's say you're not too sure, really, of what to do. You can essentially let the AI kind of do the best thing in their interest by clicking the standing orders button and selecting one of these awesome options. Now, I really like Advance. What Advance does is it slowly moves your unit up little by little, and if they encounter an enemy unit in their path, they'll immediately attack it. Of course, you can end this standing order at any time. And another great thing about the standing order, of course, is as you can see, it doesn't take up any movement points, which is a wonderful thing. This is going to help you a lot. We can also do it over here with our archers. We'll do another standing order, and for these guys, we're just going to rest. And essentially, this is going to let them sort of recuperate a bit. We'll go ahead and hit the rest button. Beautiful. Definitely make sure to use your standing orders, guys. They're very, very important in the game, and they're especially helpful when you're not too sure of what to do. Well, I hope that short tutorial helped you understand some of the basic ideas behind the game itself. In future videos, we will touch upon more interesting formations and tactics such as flanking maneuvers, as well as other formations.